Welcome to Tanks Invest. We're talking about investing, finance, and professional development. As a record time of 10:22 a.m. on Eastern Time, Ethereum coin trade $2,197, now about close to 14% so far. I wasn't planning on doing another video so closely in comparisons to my first posting at 7:30 a.m. on the Eastern Time this morning. But knowing the fact that we are in the volatile time, so I want to just make sure that we're reframing our logics, reframing our methodology to make sure that we're not making any emotional decisions that we might potentially regret. Okay, so let's just dive right straight into it. We're set to recording time of again at 10:23 a.m. on the Eastern Time. Ethereum went to $2,202, down about 13.25%. Right now we are basically levitating above the 2,150, which is a next substantive consolidated area, right? If we break this level, which I think is unlikely, we have a shot of actually going down to firstly the 2,000, which is 1,998, which is the real level. But we know that's basically a psychological flat number, not a real level. The real level is at 1855, then subsequently to 1750, okay? So right now, we are extremely oversold already with the 23 out of 70 extreme oversold. This is probably the worst I've ever seen in the past, looking at Ethereum history as a whole. And right now, there isn't really a specific signs of reversal yet because of the MACD still curving down. We formed a death cross recently as we got the Russian crypto ban news that happened last Thursday, and subsequent to that, we slide off from there, right? But right now would be the perfect opportunity to incur risk logically, again, right? Using our methodology that we've been talking about both on my Patreon updates, but also some of the contents that I've been producing historically on YouTube as well. Bitcoin is currently down about 7.17%. At the moment right now, we are basically approximating from the 34,400. We're basically about like $1,000 below from it. And at the moment, the 22 out of 70, so still extremely oversold. And at the moment right now, we are levitating in between the levels of 34 to 30, right? But 30 is going to be a big stretch because of the fact that, this is extremely oversold already. And for us to get further down, it will incentivize another really negative meat affectation. But collectively today, has been a quadruple whammy in terms of negative meat affectation already, right? The Fed's meeting that's coming up on Tuesday and Wednesday, the Russian crypto ban news that percolated last week, obviously with respect to the war that's going on between Ukraine and Russia as well, that's also being in the equation, and the interest hikes that we're still triangulating as well. All of these volatility combined with the uncertainty around the tech earnings as well, driving the sell-off across the entire market. So just a lot of uncertainty, a lot of quadruple affectation that's baking into the current settlements that we have in the equation that we see in front of us right now, right? So with respect to Dogecoin right now, down about 7%, 1316 at the moment, down about 7.5%. At the moment right now, anywhere from current level to the 1201 is still logical. Right now, extreme oversold 22 out of 70, right? Cardano is at down 10% right now. We broke through the $1. Well, we approximated around $1 right now with a 37 out of 70, so not the ideal level, but not the worst level. But I would probably prefer to be investing into Bitcoin and in Ethereum compared to what Cardano is trading at right now. We're still at the upper echelon of the oversold if you relatively compare all of the ones that we see here. Solana is down about basically 12.75%. We bounced from the 80 earlier today. And we bounced from 80 because it's a flat number, not really because it's a real number. The real number is 66, right, with a 22 out of 70. So it's already extremely oversold. It's logical to be a little bit more aggressive rather than actually selling or panicking like everybody else, right? So stay logical, stay within your frame of reference, and do not make the irrational decisions from here, right? XRP is down about 5% right now. We bounced from the 57, exactly the level that we identified, 25 out of 70. So I wouldn't expect us to be further selling down because of the fact that we have a double bounce. So that's a relatively consolidated level. And I think because of the fact that we're 25 out of 70 is already really oversold, that we should be bouncing back up to the 69 nicest to confirm the rebound on the crypto front. Polkadot is down about 9% right now. We're basically a falling knife at the moment. Anywhere from current level all the way to the bottom is logical. I think the rock bottom is technically somewhere around like the 1250 or 10. I think 10 is going to be a big stretch because of the fact that we're still extremely oversold at 27 out of 70 right now. But in terms of like in comparisons to before, right? If you believe in Polkadot, these are the levels to be buying at the moment, right? Algorand's down about 10% at the moment, 85 cents exactly. Right now, the 26 out of 70 is still over, so anywhere from current level to 79 is still better level for us. Shiba Inu is down about 12% right now, anywhere from current level all the way to the bottom, the 1708. Is logical. You can see how submerged we were at before when we were at the 1708 level. Right now, the 28 out of 70, so it's not terrible. And it's still obviously relatively oversold. We're basically comparing like oversold to extremely oversold already. So for Shiba Inu, I think we are at the moderate level of oversold at the moment. MACTAC is down about 14%. 138 right now, down about 138 at the moment right now. We're basically trading in between 143 to 120 with a 20 out of 70. So if you believe in this long term, I think 120 is a good limit order to place at. AVAX down about 12% right now. We're basically in between 59 and 50. So 20 out of 70, I would say that it's logical that we bounce from 55, which is exactly that we bounced from. But putting in place your limit order around 50 would be logical if you believe in AVAX for a long term. Luna is down about 9% so far at the moment right now with the 63 out of 70. Not 62 out of 70, 40 out of 70. So it's a little bit more on the upper echelon despite the sell-off that we see in front of us. So Luna I probably wouldn't touch it because of the discount ratio in comparison to the altcoins. But still, it's not terrible if you believe in this long term, but obviously not as attractive as the other ones, right? So that's pretty much on the technical front. I know it's a relatively short one. Let me know if you have any questions. Again, do not make the irrational decisions by selling on a panic because it's not logical. The market is trying to justify itself right now. It's trying to make sense of what's going on right now. And when money is tied to it, people are incentivized to be selling even though if it's on a loss, right? And we see people bleeding all together right now because of the uncertainty, right? But for those, I think logically that the storm is going on right now, but using your GPS, using your frame of logics and your frame of quantitative analysis that we've been performing on a daily basis, we know that if you believe in this assets long term, you will be rewarded royally going forward. So this is just a volatility you have to go through. You just have to practice your mental muscle for you to get through this, right? It's a workout, and I know it's probably not the most most palatable, and it's probably giving you some whiplash as well because we've been seeing this on a day-to-day basis already. Some days it's green, some days red, but it seems like it's just been a lot of hiccups, right? And I get it. I'm right there with you. I'm invested as well, so I understand exactly where you're coming from. But again, the way I'm doing it is just that I've seen these movies before that to sell around these time is always a terrible decision. Okay? All right, so take it easy.